6. We put our heat at 60 at night.
60? Holy crap.
And when Mason allows it to go up, we bring it to 64 during the day.
Double kill, triple kill, overkill, kill-tacular, kill atrocity, Kilimanjaro.
Mason would be loving this right now. He's been like so into Halo recently.
I got it recorded. I thought this whole Gainz podcast episode was specifically on Halo.
Gainz Nation, right in the comment section below if you play Halo, or if you've ever played Halo, because I don't presently play, but way back in the day I did play. But I don't know. The only game I really do now is like Pokemon for the most part.
Which one?
I've been playing Arceus. Well, I haven't been playing any, but gosh, when did I start Arceus? I got it for my birthday, I think, this year. Probably November. I was like wicked into it November to mid-December. And then since then, I really haven't gamed at all. But my brother, he got me, we always want to call it Wii Sports, Nintendo Switch Sports. And we keep meaning to play it. We were going to play last night, but instead we went actual bowling as opposed to doing bowling on the Nintendo Switch. But
yeah.
So that's about all the physical activity I've gotten in Gainz Nation, thinking about playing Nintendo Switch. No, I'm just good. I'm on the grind per usual.
There you go. Love it, buddy. Yeah, it's really nice out here. It's like 53 or 54 degrees out here. So
really?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the quality's a lot better when I'm at the computer, but I just, when it's like a day like this, I'm just like, I'm going to just go outside and do the podcast, right?
Let's get
like the old school podcast days when I brought the laptop outside.
Yes. when we'd have the audio off your phone. And remember when we recorded it down by the river?
Oh, yeah. It was cold as hell that day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We were bold back then. What was I gonna say? How are you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man. So recently, I got a little cold. So I'm like still recovering. So you probably hear it in my voice. I don't know what it is. It's just probably like one of those 24-hour colds. And I haven't taken any medicine. I took today off training. So hoping tomorrow I could train, because today's like an 3 days, so I don't and I probably won't make it up either because I don't really like care too much. But tomorrow I do like to deadlift on Friday, so I actually started going to the other gym on Fridays and deadlift because the gym I'm at doesn't have a platform or like any like the plates are even small, like the 45s are even smaller than standard size. So I actually went last week, and then when I texted you about the 405 triple, they have a platform and nice dumbbells. I mean, nice plates and barbells. So I'm hoping I could feel better for tomorrow. So I was gonna take medicine, didn't have any hair because we're at the house finally. So it's like we don't have a bunch of stuff. But you know what? I just been cranking out bone broth, electrolytes, water, tea, coffee, honey, like stuff like that, and it just been pretty good. I feel fine right now. Just don't want to go to the gym. And also too, my wife, she just got a sourdough starter. I sent a picture to Roman the other day of her sourdough sandwich bread, which was so good. Man, I almost ate like half of a loaf the same day. It was so darn good. And Roman, you probably understand the feels, right?
Yeah, buddy, the rise was like so perfect. Sourdough, if you've never made sourdough before, you have to be patient with it because it's slow to rise because they're wild yeast. So it's not like when you use like an active dry yeast, for example, you can accelerate the proving process. The proving is much slower with the sourdough, and the color. Man, the color. Did you do like a milk wash or like an egg wash on the top?
Just a butter wash.
Wow.
I don't know if butter wash is even a thing. Yeah.
Dang. It looks beautiful. Like that thing needs to be in a museum. It's a crime.
Yeah, she just made another loaf today, and then she made two sourdough bread bowls. And we got some soup the other day, and we want to do like the Panera soup bread bowls where we like cut out the center, pour the soup, put the bread in there. So we're gonna probably do that for dinner maybe tomorrow. But she just baked it today, so just really excited, because this is the first time she's doing it, and maybe it's not like a long term goal, but like a short term goal because we never know, and I don't want to put too much like pressure, I guess pressure on me and like our family, but like we kind of wanted to get rid of buying like processed bread, and we wanted to get rid of like getting a step closer to like not more natural food, but like food that's just a little less processed, a little bit less ingredients. So that was like the big thing for me is like I always think like when I eat that stuff, I feel better. I mean, I like I was telling you, I smashed like half a loaf. I didn't feel tired. I didn't feel like drained. I felt good. And maybe it's because I can digest that stuff well, but like, it just feels better in my system. And like the ingredients list is like, I mean, for that sandwich bread, it was like just a little bit of water, flour with the active starter and like a little bit of sugar. And like, that was it. Like, it just feels so good.
Salt and
And
butter.
Yeah, exactly. And then all we like because we like to eat a lot of carbohydrates. Like I can't, I eat jasmine rice, I eat sweet potatoes, white potatoes, and bread was like a big one. And like I said, I just wanted to get away from like getting store bought sandwich bread, and the cost is like so cheap. I mean, I couldn't even tell you what the sandwich loaf cost because I bet it's like less than 50 cents, right? Probably even less than that.
Yeah. And like even if the benefits are purely psychological, because like I've been like
Yeah.
this where like I make sourdough bread, and like you quite literally like put your own work into it, like as you're kneading the
Yeah.
bread, you're waiting for it to prove, and like your expectations are building up. You're like, oh man, I hope it has a nice crumb and whatnot. Like even if
Yeah.
the benefits are purely psychological, at the end of the day, like I'll take that because like biting into that, like first of all, the flavor is like out of this world. Like I've never had
Yeah.
store bought sourdough bread that comes anywhere close to homemade sourdough bread. Like not even freaking close, man.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to like butter it, but like when you butter it, like next level. But then you cut it and you toast it. Even better yet, you put it in a frying pan, like a frying pan with butter, and then you like take it to your face. Oh my god, you smell off, and you become like Red Skull from like Captain America, but like the good, the evil. It's like next level. So man,
Yeah.
but unbelievable.
Yeah, and she's doing really good with it. I mean, like I don't know anything about this about like keeping the starter like healthy, I guess you would say, or keep it going. But like she's been good with it, and like I said, it's just one of those things that we're just gonna try out. I didn't want to say it like, oh yeah, I'm never gonna buy store bought bread. I'm never gonna, but like it's like the things like hamburger bread, stuff like that, like sandwich bread, like if you have something and all it takes is like maybe like 5 minutes of your day to keep it alive every day, or like not even less than five, it's like less than 5 minutes a day, and you can keep things going. It's just like one of those things. It's like you brush your teeth twice a day at least, so it's like, well, what's this, so it's like a little bit better. And like I said, I just eat, and I couldn't tell you, I sometimes like 500 grams of carbohydrates in a day. So it's like it's like I don't want to say, and what's nice is I have a sweet tooth, and I'll usually like to digest, like to have a nice like Hershey's Kiss or two or three. Yesterday I literally just, and I'm not saying calorie wise and macro wise this is better. I'm just saying I think it's better for me. Like I had a slice of I toasted a little bit of sandwich bread. I put some almond butter on there, and I called that like my dessert, and it was tasty. And
Yeah.
when I'm thinking maybe put a little bit of honey on top of it, like I mean I'm gonna be in heaven. So it's like, because I have such a like craving just for food in general, like I think it's just gonna help me just stay in tuned and better and feeling better instead of eating like junk at night. So it's like one of those things. And also too, like, and the only reason why I'm eating junk is people keep bringing crap to my house, and I'm a big believer of not. I'm a big believer in not throwing things out. So like if someone, I still have chocolate from Christmas. So it's like, maybe one bar at a time or one piece at a time at nighttime, because I don't want to waste it. But like, like once that's out of there, like I don't buy a bunch of junk. I just don't want it in there because I don't want to eat it.
Yeah, now I feel that. It's so funny that you bring that up too. Like maybe like 45 minutes before the podcast, it had been like maybe 2 or 3 hours since my last meal, and I knew I was like, I want to bang out a couple emails, do this and that, like, I want to stay ready and active in case team members need me, want me, whatever. So like, what can I grab that's quick? There was like a bar of chocolate with like 4 little squares left over. I was like, perfect. And like, I slammed that. That's my snack that's going to hold me over until I make dinner. So like, is that perfect? Is that like, does that fit like my goals? Necessarily? Does it like do the trick? Is it something as my husband say, I want something nice to eat? Yeah, like, it fits those boxes, and like, it doesn't always have to be automatic where it's like, all right, I got to make this protein target, even if it's a snack, like it's a certain like carb target. Like if you are like dieting for like a competition, for example, yeah, sure, like that. You kind of have to be dialed in. But for everyone and anyone else, which is probably most of the rest of us, it's okay to, maybe cheat a little bit.
Did you just...
What?
Did you see Sochi in the background?
What's that?
Never mind. Just keep going. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
I did see like a flash of light over here somewhere. It's probably some sort of like aliens coming to like abduct me. So if I just get like sucked into like ether, like, my apologies, Gainz Nation.
No worries, buddy. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that was pretty cool. And like something new for me. So, and also too, like to your point, like I know most of the time those 4 chocolate bars is not gonna make Roman gain a lot of weight or fat or slow him down, but it's just like, instead of having that, you had like fresh stuff on the side where it's ready to go. So that's what we want to kind of get at, where it's like yesterday night, man, I haven't had a toast with like almond butter in like forever, and I was like, who am I? I usually just throw it on some like chocolate. It's like I just throw that out. But Roman, what the heck are we talking about today, buddy? We'll get into the second half.
Gainz Nation, we're talking about leveling up your gym experience. Let me get my notes ready here in a text massage to Mr. Khalida here. So in going back to the gym, I was on the elliptical the other day, which I have a love-hate relationship with. Maybe conversation for another time. So wanted to bring 3 recommendations for leveling up your gym experience. I'm just going to go over them in short order, and then we'll kind of break them down. So we have slow down your eccentrics, longer breaks between sets, especially those that are trying to gain muscle, and light cardio for a warm-up is underrated. So let me jump back on video here. Slowing down your eccentrics. One thing I've noticed going back to the gym and being amongst the people is people tend to really rush the eccentric, and I get it. That's that lowering portion. So we're talking with dumbbell military press. The eccentric is this part as you're coming down, okay? This is isometric, hold in the bottom position or stretch position. Concentric, there's an isometric hold at the top position or lengthen position, and this would be the eccentric as we're lowering down, okay? So what I usually see with individuals is something along the lines of this. This is like a new or beginner lifter. It'll be something like what I want to see is I want you to slow it down, control. It's okay to explode up. Although when you do it, some people, they have a lot of power, a lot more power than they know too. That's extremely impressive. I love it. I'm jealous because I got a little bit of power, not that much power. So when you're exploding up, have it be controlled, because we don't want that bounce effect, right? We want to target as much of the lift as possible in the target muscles. Those being front lateral delt, little bit of side delt, little bit of rear delt in as a stabilizer. We've got some stabilizers in the back, but mostly the front delt, and we're talking the pec. So the pec minor and the pec major. You're going to get a little bit of core stiffening depending on how heavy the weight is, and some of the core and trunk stabilizing muscles. But mostly we're talking shoulder complex and chest when we're doing a dumbbell military press. So what I want to see is I want to get a nice big stretch. I want a strong, powerful concentric. And then I really want you to learn to start milking out these eccentrics. A few different reasons. Maybe first and foremost, the reason I say, I think that's how you get the biggest bang for your buck for growing muscle. Also strength though. But an often not talked about feature is athletic development. Antoine, what the heck do I mean by athletic development? What I mean about athletic development is better coordination of moves, especially when we're talking about from a either a single joint type situation, like let's say like a tricep, like pull down, multi-joint process, but also in coordination of the joints working across the body. So I believe that would be the sagittal plane. I could be incorrect there. So we draw a plane across our nose, right? Straight down the body. Shoop. One thing I'll see with beginners is a little bit of this, right? Sometimes it's a muscular imbalance. Sometimes I think it's a coordination imbalance. So one thing that I believe that slowing the eccentric down, what it's doing, it's effectively communicating back to your brain through your central nervous system. Hey, I need to be able to move my limbs in tandem. Why is that important, Gainz Nation? When you're opening a door or pushing a heavy object, it's better to be in sync as you're moving as opposed to out of sync, right? Out of sync could make the job or the task that much more challenging. So we want to be able to sync processes. This is why I think fundamentally the squat, whether it's a bodyweight squat, goblet squat, Smith machine squat, barbell squat, you name it, is probably one of the most effective and biggest bang for your buck like movements. If you could only choose one, I would probably say squat till you drop, squats for the rest of your life, because it has such a crazy turnover with regular everyday activities, athletic ability, strength development, power development, muscular development, endurance, aerobic endurance development. It is the king of movements, I would say, potentially queen of movements, queen of movements. So I want to see slow down your eccentrics with everything you do. You get a bicep curl. You know what I'm thinking? Like 90% of the time when I'm like doing curls now, slow. It doesn't have to be ancient. It doesn't have to take forever, but I want you to really slow and milk that eccentric. Again, better muscular development. I believe better strength development through this. You want to work through power and speed, etc. I understand that, but I think most populations could benefit from a slower eccentric. Better coordination, either unilaterally or multilaterally. Buddy, what are your thoughts about slowing down your eccentric for leveling up your gym experience?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit it out of the park with that. Like, I mean, from beginners to intermediate and experts, a lot of the time you'll see a little bit of you'll see different movement patterns, and you hit it out of the park. Like I said, a lot of the beginners will kind of just do the repetitions, go through the movement. Intermediate might do like, hey, that's like, I feel like sometimes like me, it's like, hey, some movements I'm really focusing on certain things and I'm slowing things down. Some movements I'm kind of going a little bit faster. Maybe I maybe sometimes I do want a little bit faster. And then you see like, during the experts where they kind of just do, to their sport, right? And to your point on like athletic development, that is important, because if you can't control some, it's kind of like balance, right? Like say if, you injure yourself and your foot is weak, your balance is going to be thrown off, your walk is going to be thrown off, everything's going to be thrown off. Like you tying your shoes is going to be thrown off. So you kind of have to think about that in the workout world, where it's like, just because, you could do it one way, why don't you try it the other way, and then make sure like all that motion is one, all it's consistent, and you be able to, handle the weight how it's supposed to. That's all I got, Roman.
Gainz Nation, I get like a hangnail, and that like throws off the entire workout. I'm like, there's no bodyweight squats today. There's no curls. There's no military dumbbell press. I'm just gonna stick this in like an ice bucket all day until it heals. Like that. Well, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, I could even say like a paper cut in my finger. Like once you get like a paper cut in your like thumb or like your index finger, you're like, dude, what do I use this finger so much for? Because it's like you're hurting it 24/7 throughout the day, because you're like, oh crap, like, why does this hurt so bad?
Paper cut, I'm like, yo, where's the ambulance at? Like, get medical supervision.
Oh, there it goes again. Do you see it?
What the heck? That is the craziest thing. Oh my God.
You just did this or whatever. I don't know.
It's like a thumbs up that's like shooting up into the sky right here. So next thing, longer rest periods, right? I see a lot of folks, if you are short on time, superset, triple set, run every single set, like side by side by side by side. I've seen some IFBB Pro. There was Will Tennyson had a great video probably a couple years ago at this point with an IFBB Pro female. I want to say she was wellness. I could be wrong though. But she was an IFBB Pro bodybuilder, and she just goes set, 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 no breaks. Most people, I would say, lengthen out your breaks. You're gonna notice a considerable amount of increase in strength and in muscular hypertrophy as well. So increase in muscle size. I think at a certain point, and there are certain like practicalities, like if I only give myself an hour, like this morning, I only had an hour to work out. So I work out at Planet Fitness. It's about 10 to 15-ish minutes if I'm driving really, really slow, taking in the scenes. So I only have about an hour to hour and 15 before I have to get back and start getting plugged in, ready for work, right? So there might be times where I hit Smith squats today, for example, for the first time in a bit, and they winded me and didn't feel super great on my lower left hip. Did it again. That's the weirdest thing. Man, I don't know if I like it or not. I'm just going to be like throwing up like thumbs up, like left and right, and just going to shoot up over here. So for practical purposes, like it would have made sense. I still have some like more that I got to do, but I'll do it in the basement, like ham curls and whatnot. But if you were going to hit leg extensions and ham curls, if you wanted to superset them for the sake of, getting in as much of your workout in, you can. If you're short on time, hey, got to pick up the kids after work, can't get in a second workout. I'm lucky, privileged in the way that I got a home gym. I can do it in the sanctity of my basement after I finish all my to-dos. So if you're not in that situation, I get it. Supersets are great. But I would say for the vast, vast, vast majority of people, you want to hit a set, you want to hit it hard. It should be relatively close to failure. And that goes for whether it's for muscular building purposes, whether it's for strength building purposes, or whether it's aerobic endurance. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're hitting failure every single time, but you should be relatively close. I would say generally probably within like 1 to 5 reps of failure, unless you're rehabbing, unless there's like an injury concern. So that would probably be the one, like probably most common exception to that rule. I want to see you lengthen out that rest period. you don't have to do this, but if it works for you, take this recommendation, give it a try, see if it helps. Get out your phone, set a timer, and or time the rest. I still time my rest from time to time because I'll be like, yeah, I'm ready. I got all the indicators done that Dr. Mike taught me. I got my breath back. The pump or the perceived like soreness or tightness in the muscle has like faded enough where I can go through that joint action and be able to perform the exercise to a high level of competence. I have like a high degree of like willingness and like I'm in an excited state mentally to be able to like hit the set and like hit it hard. I look at my timer and it's like 37 seconds have gone by. It's like, all right, bro, you just did like a set of like leg extensions to like RPE 9. Like literally this morning I hit leg extensions, buddy, after Smith squats. And like I was going hard. It was probably like RPE 8, maybe RPE 9. I definitely had another one left in the tank. My left foot, like quite literally, I think the guy next to me, he was like about to call 911 because my left foot was going uncontrollably. I couldn't help it. But it was because the muscles, most likely the tibialis anterior, was innervating so fast because it was essentially trying to stabilize my foot in like a solid position because my leg, my quad muscles were so fatigued. So it just started shaking like crazy, shaking like a leaf on a tree, as they say. So I'm definitely one of those gym goers that like I hit a set, I hit it hard, and then like I'm like, yeah, I got my rest. I'm like timing it. I go back, I check my phone again, 37 seconds. Give yourself some time, man. Give yourself a breather. If you have to, like, flip through your phone or take down some notes about that set, whatever it might be. I would say, generally speaking, like 2 minutes is a good indicator. You kind of have to do you, boo. So like if you're short on time, like maybe the longest you can extend it out to is 1.5 minutes. If that is the longest amount of time, extend it out to 1.5 minutes because it will have better bang for your buck at the end of the day. I firmly believe. But what are your thoughts on extending out your rest?
Yeah, I would just say I think you hit it on the head again. I think there's just so many ways and so many times where people are just trying to rush their workout, and it goes back to mitigating risk. Could cause injury, and also it could help you lose out on potential gains like you were mentioning. But like the other side of things is like when you're rushing those things, you're not paying attention. Sometimes you could be, like I said, you could get hurt, get injured. You could do something the wrong way. You could, somehow move the wrong way, and then that could potentially hurt too. So rushing that process, then like Roman was saying, give a minute and a half. It's not all day, and it kind of goes back to make sure you're trying to give yourself as much as possible. I know we're all busy adults. But make sure you're just giving yourself as much time as possible, and make sure you're trying to get, like Roman said, try to get things done so you can not have to worry about, rushing yourself to the gym. Same goes with me. I try to do as much as possible so I don't have to hurry myself up. So
yeah, absolutely. So there's definitely practical concerns. And then last but not least, Gainz Nation, we don't want to keep you too long, but we want to hit you with that value. Third, but not least, is cardio for warm-up. Underrated. I'd say that it's underrated. I kind of miss doing cardio for warm-up. Like, I was walking on the treadmill, sometimes, listen to podcasts, mostly like, lackadaisical, etc. I'll get on the bike, especially when I work out with my brother. And that mofo, he is like, yo, I'm cranking this up to like level 12. And he's going at a clip where he's at like 120 repetitions per minute. So I'm not going to let my little brother, my younger brother, outbike me. I'm going to level 13. I'm getting up to like 125 RPMs. And he still finds a way to beat me. But that little bit of competition, that little bit of pushing, I believe, as long as you're not exhausting yourself, we might have exhausted ourselves. I might have gotten my heart rate up to about like 85 by the end of that 10-minute bike. But I do think that getting a little bit of sweat going on while you're doing aerobic endurance activities, nothing too hard before you do resistance exercise training. Like don't, run your fastest mile and then go and squat. I wouldn't recommend it unless you were doing CrossFit, for example. But if you wanted to take the step, you're on a treadmill, you want to take it up to like 3.5, 4 with an incline, and you're holding on, and you're like really going. You're like, yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm getting a little bit of a sweat going after 10 minutes. I think that actually can tend to be underrated because I think people can tend to rush their warm up, get straight into an exercise, and I believe firmly that can increase your injury risk because you're not warming up those muscles, the tendons, the ligaments. You're not getting those enzymes flowing, and I think that can cause some like cranky shoulders, cranky knees, cranky hips, cranky elbows, knees and toes. So I've been a big fan of introducing maybe walking on a treadmill, maybe the elliptical. I got a love-hate relationship with the elliptical, maybe a little bit of bike, about 10-15 minutes. Buddy, what are your thoughts on a little nice aerobic endurance warm-up before you get into resistance exercise training?
I just want to quote Sir Kai Green. He would say, I do my cardio for my thermogenesis. Because that's what he'd say. He'd have the hoodie on, the pants on, the leggings. He's like, I just love thermogenesis. And I'm like, I don't know if Kai Green even knows what thermogenesis is. First of all, you got thermogenesis. And then, but no, I totally agree. There is a point though, like, it just depends your situation. But most of the time, most of the population, like Roma was saying, they rush warm-ups if they even warm up to go work out. So it's like, I think that's a very good point to preach because, like I said, most of the time when I see people at the gym, they don't even warm up or cool down most of the time. And what I've realized, if they're coming from work and if they're a stationary position all day, they sat there, didn't do much, they went and got lunch, sat back on their desk, and then they went to the gym. A lot of the times you're just like, oh, you're going to get hurt one of these days, or that's going to hurt. The only time, like most of the time, I don't do cardio. I do miss it, like Roman was saying, doing a little bit more extra. Maybe I'll start doing that just in the beginning because I don't have a lot of body fat on me. So I most of the time leave my hoodie on only if I'm trying to see those muscles. But like, I'll leave my hoodie on or sweatshirt or sweatpants on the whole time because I like to stay warm and hot. But sometimes, like, say if like, if because sometimes I'm late afternoon, evening, just depends on what the day is. I might have gone on a walk, or I might be playing with my son. I might be, moving before the gym. So it just depends on that day because like when we were big on those morning walks in the summertime, which should be coming up soon. Hopefully it gets nicer outside. Like in the morning, I like to enjoy the morning sun. I like to walk. And then if I like go to the gym within like 2 hours, 3 hours, like, my body's probably still warmed up. It's not like I just woke up and went to the gym, or I sat down all day and went to the gym. I moved my whole body, I'm stretching, I'm walking. So I do think that's such a good thing to preach because a lot of the times people either just do cardio or they'll just work out and then just leave the gym, no warm up, no cool down. So I'm not going to say it's bad at all. And I'm not going to say I do it all the time either. So.
Yeah, I definitely like if I skip something, like what am I going to skip? Probably cardio. And guess what? Probably going to hurt me because my warm up is effective. So, Gainz Nation, as we come to a close, 3 tips for leveling up your gym experience. Slow down those eccentrics. Make sure you get in some cardio, just a little bit if you can. And last but not least, extend out those rests. And you're going to get bigger, stronger, faster.
Gainz. See you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Peace.